Hello and thanks for joining us on Africa Independent Television, AIT. Welcome to Democracy Today. I am Ijoma Osamor. It's 117 days, which is about 16 weeks or 4 months to February 16, a day slated for the 2019 presidential election in Nigeria. And in less than 1 month from today, precisely November 18, 2018, political campaigns will start across the country and by political parties to woo the electorate in the annals of Nigerian political history, electionary and not devoid of violence. So far, party standard bearers have engaged or emerged from all elected positions. What agenda are they promoting? What about their manifestos? Any ideological disposition? And what is the peace agenda for Nigeria? And also, what about infrastructure? Any pro-poor policy? Who amongst the presidential candidates can facilitate genuine and desirable change in Nigeria? What do Nigerians want from these political gladiators? We shall be looking at agenda setting for 2019 between politics and governance, as I'm being joined in the studio by a seasoned politician who has seen it all since Second Republic and particularly since the beginning of the Fourth Republic. He was a national secretary of the defunct Congress of Progressive Change, CPC. He played a key role in the formation of the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, APC. And he is today in opposition. He is Alhaji Buba Galadima. You're welcome to Democracy Today.
Thank you, Ijeoma.
This is the second time. I think the third time we're having you on this program.
Several times.
Several times. All right, Alhaji, we'll be coming back to you. It was on the program on Thursday night, and by popular demand, we have him tonight again. And we're welcoming him, and we hope that you will have everything intact. If you have questions, you can drop it on our handles. You go to our Facebook page, like our page, and drop whatever comments you have for us. Or you can also go to our Twitter handle at Democracy Today. Or you can even drop a message at my handle. I'll get to read it out here. If you have a question for Alhaji Buba Galadima, just be part of the program. For now, let's serve you some political development from across the state.
The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Adams Oshiomhole, says powerful stakeholders of the party are currently mobilizing against his leadership. Oshiomhole, in a statement issued in Abuja, says the move by the stakeholders can be attributed to his scorn for impunity and circumvention of due process perpetrated in some states during the party primaries. Ahead of the 2019 general elections, politicians have been urged not to see their ambition as a do-or-die affair, as no position is worth the blood of any Nigerian. The charge was given today by the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kwara State.
People should not have a kind of premonition that getting there is a matter of either life and death. If God definitely wants anybody there, there is nothing opposition or anybody can do to stop the person that is in the mind of God to be there.
So we should use the time to pray and choose credible leaders at all sectors, local government, states, and the federal level. We should choose credible leaders. So
the Kaduna State government has imposed a 24-hour curfew on the Kasuwan Magani community in Kajuri local government area of the state. The Kaduna State government says the move is to prevent breach of law and order in the area. On Friday, 55 lives were lost following a communal strife.
Well, those reports from across the country today, Sunday. And Alhaji Buba Galadima, let me first of all start with the sad situation in Kaduna State, the killings.
Well, Ijeoma, I'm so disappointed actually with what is happening in Kaduna. because government ought to have been proactive. Where these killings, where we learned hundreds of people were killed at Kasuang Magani, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday. But the news
That
broke
had
out yesterday.
always been a flashpoint, and I thought any serious government that is concerned with the security of life and property, after so many clashes in that area, could have been very, very alert and very responsive, such that anything like that happening in that area, within 30 minutes, security agencies ought to have been there to curtail and bring calm to that situation. People were being maimed, killed for hours, and no security appearance to save the lives and properties of people. This is why some of us believe that this government is not living up to its expectation, because the primary responsibility of any government anywhere in the world is the protection first of life and property of citizens, which in this wise, this government has completely failed and had not lived up to expectation. And they know that if such things happen somewhere, it will have a multiplier effect, and this is exactly what we learned is happening in Kaduna metropolis. It is regrettable, it is pitiable that government could not even make a strong statement or show strong commitment of protecting lives and property. They just announced dusk to dawn curfew.
Alaji, you were with the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari prior to 2015 election, and one of the issues that they campaigned thoroughly with was the issue of security. Then you promised Nigerians, while you were supporting Buhari, that security will be insecurity will be a forgotten issue by the time he becomes the president of the country. I'm surprised that you're saying this now.
Well, yes, everything has a turning point in life. We believed that General Buhari, being a military man, to the core, who had seen many security situations from the civil war to the Chad-Nigerian conflict, and been from platoon commander, director of S&T, that's supply and transport, brigade commander, GOC, commander-in-chief, would be a better person a better person to tackle issue of security in our country. But he's just been carried away by the aura of the office and ceded responsibility to certain individuals who have no concern whatsoever to life and property. I think he himself admitted that he's being caged, that he doesn't know what is happening. I will not be surprised if he has not heard about the program that has happened in Kasuang Magani or is happening in Kaduna, as we discussed right away.
Are you sure he has not heard? The statement came from his office and he was condemning
yes,
it.
And any serious president in a civilized clime would have come up himself on television to address the nation on such happenings and call for calm and give warning and take decisive position in dealing with the hoodlums or whoever is responsible for this. We had not seen that coming from him, that compassion, that empathy, the fatherliness to the nation. We had not seen him done that. That is his responsibility. We don't need to teach him. After all, he's been in the corridor of power all his life.
But if you say we have not seen him done that, even before now, did he do that? Did he do that while he was...
He has never done that, but now it's an election year. Here's people who are being killed, people who are being maimed, houses and properties who have been destroyed across the country. For 2.5 years, he has not shown interest. But now that it's an electioneering year, he started going a belated condolence to certain these flashpoints on things that had happened 2.5 years earlier. Therefore, he should be proactive, at least in this election year, so that he sends a message to the country that when he gets a comeback, in case he gets a comeback, he will do better than what he did.
Alhaji, I would like to take you back to 2011. There was a statement you made on Vanguard. I would like us to just see that caption of the statement by Alhaji Buba Galadima on Vanguard. Why I just read some portion of that statement. If we have the graphic caption, let's take it. Now, let me start. The statement reads, who do they think that they are, that they will threaten people? You were addressing the Jonathan government then. Power is transient. Where is Pharaoh? The man Jonathan is jeopardizing the fate of Nigeria. The man should choose between PDP and the nation. If we do not remove PDP the way they are going, we will never have Nigeria. They can arrest anybody they want to arrest. We are not afraid of arrest. After all, Buhari himself was in detention for 4 years. Me, I have been charged with treason. It will add to their problem. Let them try if they can threaten us. If they want, they can even kill us. Are we the first to die? That is what they want, because these guys have no culture of running a plural society like Nigeria. This was a statement you made, published in the Vanguard newspaper of May 18, 2012 at about 1:20 a.m. So when did you notice that this thing that you said could not work at this 2018? You are against the same man you were supporting then.
Thank you very much, Idioma. That was my statement, and I am now transferring that statement as a principled and a nationalist. We brought in somebody, he did not live up to expectation, and we are now restating our position as it was in Jonathan's time, that General Buhari has not fared very well, and in fact he is doing worse than Jonathan. That is why you saw when Jonathan went to Sokoto, that is the cradle of civilization in northern Nigeria. Multitude of people came out and were crying and welcoming Jonathan because they thought that they were having it worse than during Jonathan's time. And when General Buhari was there, in fact, nobody cheered him. That shows that I am not tribalistic, I'm not sectional, that I stand by the truth, I stand for justice, and I will continue to do what is right. And this is exactly what I'm doing.
If the person you're supporting today happens not to be the person that you expect after 2019, what would you do?
I told you here on a program just recently that let's keep on changing leadership of the country. Today, this government should go through our votes. Let's bring in another person. And that day I mentioned Atiku. If Atiku does not perform, we pray that Buba Galadima will be alive again to do exactly what he has done during Jonathan, and what he has done exactly during Buhari, we remove him. It is by changing, it has two advantages. What is the advantage? Leaders will now sit up because they know that whoever does not perform, he can be thrown out. That is first advantage. The second advantage is that the Buhari government is riding on the issue of credibility and integrity. Once they are out of power, we would be able to investigate them, which we will institutionalize and see whether they were corrupt or not corrupt. If we found them not to be corrupt, and we found them that they can perform better than Atiku government, let Buhari come back and contest the election in 2023.
That would be, how old will he be at 223?
Well, after all, the Buhari handlers have told us that Mugabe is there, Paul Biya is there, so is there. So if he's so good, there is nothing. Nigerians are not talking of age. Nigerians are talking of performance. Who could do better? Who will strengthen institutions of government? For now, this government is even destroying the institutions of government by trying to compromise the judiciary, by trying to compromise the legislature, by trying to compromise economic crime institutions like the EFCC, ICPC, by using them to only chase political opponents. And right under them, corruption is flourishing, people are stealing right, left, and center. they are not able to bring their own people to book.
So why did you leave the Buhari? So why did you stop supporting President Muhammadu Buhari? But we need to know, did you do that in the interest of Nigerians or a selfish interest?
Of course you can see that. What will be so selfish? I was offered ministerial appointment severally by other governments. I didn't take. But even if that is not the case, in your frame of mind, don't you think I have not worked enough to be somebody? Don't you think I am honest or credible enough to take government position? In your own frame of mind, would you say that what had been visited on some of us, Alhaji Saleh Ahama, our Director General, Sam Nda Isaiah and a host of others, who had started in 2002, and today have been thrown into the dustbin of history, that it is right? Can you pray for your children to be visited this kind of treatment when they work for somebody and work for something because they have something to contribute and they are thrown out?
Did you work for somebody and they threw you out?
I don't know.
Because you're trying to tell us that you worked for somebody.
We worked for a purpose,
okay,
to make Nigeria better. Today we are not in a position to effectualize that.
So Alhaji, so what do you think should be the agenda for, because by November 18, political parties and candidates will start their campaign. Where do you think Nigerians should talk to this? How do you set agenda for them? What should be the agenda of their campaigns?
No, it's not we that will set agenda.
Who will set agenda?
For the politicians.
Who? The politicians should do that?
It is the politicians themselves that will tell us what is their agenda for this country. That was the mistake we made. We allowed rhetorics to take place, and some people used the press to promote themselves, and today they are in government. They have gone back on every promise that they have made. Therefore, whoever wants to rule this country must enter into a covenant with the peoples of this country. Tell us exactly in clear terms and practical terms what he intends to do as an agenda and how he will do it. For example, if I were to run for president, there are certain things I will do. One of which is that I must carry Nigeria from an economy of reliance on petroleum or crude or whatever you call it, and now focus Nigeria more on industrialization by doing what? I have been a director of Delta Steel Company for 2 years, a director of Ajakuta Steel Company for 2 years, and no economy will ever develop without steel and industry. No economy will develop anywhere in the world without aluminum smelting. No economy in any part of the country can develop without petrochemicals. And above all, the mother of it all that will provide employment to the generality of the people is agriculture.
Yes, today, you are a farmer. You are a farmer.
Of course I am one.
You understand so well that this government is trying when it comes to agriculture.
No.
We are producing rice in Nigeria today.
No. They are not trying. You see, you people are being carried away by rhetorics. I am not for that. I am a practical person. This is why we are teaching these guys in government that we have to teach them practical politics, which they don't understand. And they can't know from where we are coming from. Now, take my farm. If I show you what is here, I have 40 hectares of rice. Within 10 days, there is an epidemic called neck blast. And the entire farm, which is fruiting, had been destroyed. And this government that is making rhetorics about agriculture doesn't even know that there is an epidemic today in Nigeria that is destroying all the rice that were planted in Kano, in Niger, in Nasarawa, Ebonyi, and several other states. My own theory is that maybe our foray into rice production has now alerted those from whom we import rice, and they sent in a fungal virus that is affecting the rice production in Nigeria. The Minister of Agriculture should resign for his ineffectiveness.
The minister.
Why not? He should, because Now Nigeria has to import rice. They have to import rice this year because all the rice farms have been destroyed, including my own. But I want to assure you that the president doesn't know anything that is happening.
Then if the president doesn't know anything that is happening, he has handlers who are aware. They are ministers. Those are their job. They are supposed to inform the president.
That is why I said the man should resign, because he doesn't fit to be there. I know you don't know Chief Odogwe is a very close friend of mine, who my senior in school. He read French, not agriculture, in the university when I met him, ABU, 1971.
You read French?
French.
But he's a farmer.
I am one.
You are an engineer?
Of course.
Today you are a farmer.
Yes.
So if he read French and becomes a farmer,
that is not a policy. That's not a policy. I am on the farm to make a living. Not that I'm a specialist in agriculture. So it takes a lot of things to even develop, bring about policies in agriculture. Everybody is keeping quiet. Look at what is happening to the rice farms all over this country. Nobody even knows. Maybe some countries sent viruses that are affecting the rice, and we will have real shortfall. And even the approach to agriculture is wrong. I want to challenge any of them to a public debate. With what they are doing, agriculture will never develop in Nigeria. We can never use agriculture to produce raw material for manufacturing, so that we stop the importation of a lot of luxury goods that we are not supposed to import into Nigeria. We will develop the iron and steel industry so that all the implements for agriculture and industries will be produced in Nigeria. So we cut short the use of dollar. We can now use what we produce to export and make more foreign exchange for the country and develop the economy of the country and provide employment for the teeming youth of this country, which no government is addressing. I hope that the incoming Atiku government will address this issue.
All right, Malaji, we will come back to that. But first, let me just take this short report. We took it in our stories from across the state. This coming from Osamor. Osamor is shouting. Can I say he's shouting? But I think what he is doing now is raising alarm that people are trying to get him out of the way. He is so concerned. And in a statement issued today by his media aide, Simon Osamor, wrote simply and said that some persons are ganging up against him in the party. These people are not happy with the progress that he is making in the party. Now, let me just take a line. According to a statement signed by his media aide, Simon Ibegbulem, Osamor said that the aggrieved party members want to cook up false narrative against him. The statement said the stories being spread about Osamor, especially by one of the presidential aspirants on the platform of the party, the name of that aspirant is Alhaji Mumakai Unaga, that the APC cannot win with Osamor, as published at page 42 of Saturday Vanguard, October 20. That was yesterday, 2018. It's unfair, it is denigrating and baleful of Comrade Osamor's personnel and commitment to rejuvenate and winning machine for the APC. It says a lot of them are coming together, that the APC chairman has begun to instill discipline in the party. That's what the statement is saying. And while ensuring party supremacy, promoting due processes, dealing with impunity and executive arrogance. The statement went further to say that Comrade Osamor did not become national chairman of the governing party to bring it down from the pedals of a 2015 electoral victory, or let alone to preside over its liquidation. It is saying that rather a single-minded goal for the outset of his declaration of interest in the position was to deploy his capacity in helping to strengthen and reposition the party as a truly supreme and disciplined political party. Alhaji, I remember the day of the convention, the day he was affirmed as the chairman of your party, that some of you became aggrieved. And after that convention, you formed your RAPC. Why did you leave? Okay, you say you are still a member of the APC. You are just a group in the APC. That's what you told me the last time you came. I'm
not only a member of the APC. When Oshumale emerged as national chairman of the party, appointed, I issued...
By affirmative vote?
No, he wasn't affirmed.
By affirmative vote?
No, he wasn't affirmed.
They called it...
I say he wasn't affirmed. They affirmed yes, no, no. That's why we are in court.
Yes,
and
no,
that's
no.
subjudice for me to discuss. Let's not go into that field.
Okay.
But I have said that Oshumale, by his training as a labor man, cannot run a democratic political party. That those who want to use him will ever live to regret. And that last week I added that Oshumale's agenda is to destroy the APC, and he's an undertaker. And this is exactly what is happening. There is rancor in almost every state of the federation from the conduct of the primaries that Oshumale carried out. In fact, there is an allegation that the day before yesterday, when thugs came from some aggrieved states, Oshumale had to jump the fence.
You're saying this, we never saw it.
Of course.
We didn't see
Let him deny it now.
We didn't see it.
There was this allegation that he has to jump the fence for a taxi to pick him from the other side and run with him to safety. Today, all is not well in Rivers, all is not well in Akwa Ibom, all is not well in Ogun, all is not well in Zamfara, all is not well in Kaduna, all is not well in Borno. In fact, almost all the 36 states of the federation, including Abuja. That Oshumale and the government, because they are not Democrats, they don't believe even in the supremacy of the people to determine who is going to be their candidate. Today, in the APC, there are lists coming from the villa. This is the president's list. This is his president's so list. And people who participated in primaries and won were replaced. And there is even these allegations that some people were given colossal amount of money. If I mention, you will just pick race. And this is not auguring well. It is only leading to the destruction of the APC. And I want to say that as you see me seated here today, Oshumale will destroy the party. The party will lose federal elections. Those of us who are being called names will be called upon after 2019 to really come and pick the pieces and build this party again. Whenever I say anything, just mark it that this will happen. All these guys will run away because all those that are migrating...
Why will they run away from their party and run to where?
Immediately APC loses, Oshumale will jump boat. He will leave the country.
You are the ones saying APC will lose, but they don't believe that they will lose.
I say, when Buhari loses election, he will spend 1 month without having one single telephone call from any of these people that he recruited just at the 12th hour. I am telling you this because I know it will happen. So the issue is very, 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 very simple. Let them start packing their luggage and leave this party for us to come and reform it. Because there will be no trust. Oshumale cannot assemble members of this party to create trust, to make a potent force with which to win any federal election.
Allah, did you say you are a member of APC?
Of course I am.
How come you are not supporting your party to victory?
You want me to support impunity? I have sacrificed my life for justice and fairness. I will never support impunity. Even if it is my father that is in their shoes, I will do the same. And my father knew that before his death. And he asked me to do that. I wouldn't. I'm not looking for anything from the party. Only justice and fairness to Nigerians. They will destroy this country if they come back. That's
your words. Because from what we gathered during their 3 years in office, especially during the Democracy Day, May 29, the Buhari administration has actually, what they would, they have improved in economy. The economy that went into recession in 2016 to 2016-2017 is back. In the first quarter, there was an increment in the economy. They have improved in so many things, and they mentioned the point that if you talk about infrastructure, you talk about roads. The second Niger bridge that the Jonathan government could not complete, they are also working there. Those are some of the things the Buhari administration came up with that they have achieved. And you are saying they have not done anything.
Thank you very much. You said the second Niger bridge that Jonathan has not completed, they are working on it, which means they have also not completed it. They are only working on it. Of course, after all, Jonathan also worked on it. So this one is no achievement. I hear yesterday the president gave directives that the economy should be deactivated or activated. How can you reactivate something that has not been deactivated?
Oh, they need to deactivate the economy.
That is what the president said yesterday.
No, to you feel that they should deactivate the economy first?
No.
Before they reactivate it.
If there is, what the Hausa people say, if there is no rami, if there is no hole, what are you telling the blind man about a ditch? It means the economy is comatose by admission. And let me tell you, what a lot of Nigerians don't understand, that from Lord Lugard to Jonathan, all the monies borrowed by Nigeria in those, how many years? 50-something years.
Yes.
50-something years.
Close to 60 now.
Close to 60 years. It's not up to what the government of General Muhammadu Buhari borrowed in the last 3.5 years. And there is nothing to show for it. This is why I want them to lose the election, so that we ask them, you borrowed this and this and this and this, what did you do with it?
But if you say there's nothing to show for it, they are fighting insecurity.
I thought the Buhari government has told us that they will never buy arms from dealers or from arms merchants in the world, that it will be government to government. Why is it now that they allow contractors to buy arms for the military? They talk double. You can't trust these guys. None of them speaks the truth. None of them has a position on anything except their interest. So, and I want to conclude that by January, February, March, the federal government of Nigeria would not be in a position to even pay salary, because they would have not enough money to service debt. And if there is any economist, I'm not one, who disputes what I'm saying, let him come and put the figures across for Nigerians to see.
Now, somebody wants me to ask you, from the Twitter handle that I have here, this person says, his name is, anyway, at Moneybank, he said, I should please ask you, why did you leave Buhari? Why did you leave?
Well, I gave several reasons. The government is not compassionate. The government is not showing empathy to the security situation in the country. The government is not developing our economy. The government is not giving youth employment. So they are setting this country on a time bomb. I don't want that to explode to my face and to your face and to the face of other Nigerians. And therefore, any patriotic Nigerian, any nationalist of my stature must come out and stand up and say what is right or what is the truth for people to know. In case we speak, if they have ears, they must listen and hear. If they have eyes, they must see. And whatever message we send is trying to help them to really change. I hope they do. This is enough reason for me to really fight them, as I have fought all successive governments on our behalf. So I am also doing that
so
today.
You are fighting the cause of Nigeria.
Of course. That's what I stand for.
The person you're supporting now, you might leave him tomorrow.
I said so that if Atiku does not perform, we should also change him in 2023. So I'm not, I don't speak double.
Okay.
And I speak my mind.
All right, Alhaji, we will need to take a break here. And let's just take a break. Remember that you can also drop a comment with us on the Facebook page at Democracy Today, or maybe you just drop it on my handle. You can drop a comment or a question for Alhaji Buba Galadima. He'll be here till about 5 minutes to 11. He is ready to answer your question. That's why he came back. Drop a comment, drop a question for him. But before that, let's take this break. And when we come back, we might be calling the spokesperson to Adams Oshiomhole, Simon Igbebulam. If he's available, we'll get him and let him explain what is happening within the party. Stay with us. The political actors.
Unless we get a cure for what is ailing our polity, then we will continue to make efforts to perfect it.
Let's keep talking. Sometimes what they don't even need to hear, they have to say it. It is their own to be defended.
The scheming and the intrigue.
In a democracy, the government should be afraid of the people, not the people should be afraid of the government.
This is a kangaroo coup.
We follow them all. Follow in-depth and no-holds-barred analysis. Feel the pulse of Nigeria's democratic growth only on the IT.
Let it be known to all of us that in this new dispensation, there's no more monkey the walk than
Democracy Today. Nigeria's authority and politics on the IT. No, you're still there with us. We still have Alhaji Buba Galadima right here in the studio. He's been reacting to some issues, just like Nigeria is preparing to go into another round of election, February 16, 2019. November 18, political parties will start campaigns, and the candidates will start campaigns. Like what happened in 2015, they went round the country trying to woo votes, trying to woo support from Nigerians. What do they have for the people? How many of them have the interest of Nigerians at heart that are going to campaign and also win the heart of Nigerians with their manifesto? I remember when I was growing up, Alhaji, when we were growing up, when you see politicians and candidates campaigning, they climb a stage and they're promising, I will do this, I'll do that. But what we see today is attack on personalities. Is that what we're expecting by November 18?
No. That is why I wanted those working for this government to steer our campaigns towards issues. And this is why I like what Atiku is doing. Even though they were attacking his personality and his person, he has not lost the focus on issues of what he is going to do. These guys there have no agenda whatsoever for this country. They were only talking of integrity and personality, integrity that is not there. And the issue is that Nigerians will tell you, is it integrity we are going to chop? They want to see practical food on their table. And know if anybody is not providing that, then he's a villain as far as they are concerned. So I believe that what we should do is the politics of issues, and people should tell us what they are going to offer and how they can practicalize that offer. Is it workable? Is it achievable? They must be able to tell us that. And the separation of powers between the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive is one sole area that whoever becomes the leader of Nigeria must respect this separation of powers allow the legislatures to do their work, allow the judiciary to do their work without interference. And whoever interferes with this actually is not a friend of Nigeria, is destroying Nigeria, and will go down in history as the worst leader that Nigeria has ever produced.
Alhaji, you seem to talk so much about the election. I have heard you say we will be able to remove this government with free and fair election. Do you have trust in INEC?
Well, yes and no.
What's the yes and no?
Yes. I said yes and no because INEC has so far demonstrated that they are incapable.
How do you mean?
Of doing a free and fair election.
How do you mean?
Whenever they want the ruling party to win, they will declare an election inconclusive to give the ruling party an opportunity to mobilize by use of money and the use of security forces. Look at INEC or look at this government. For election in 5 or 6 polling booths in Oshun, they deployed over 30,000 policemen. When they don't have 500 policemen from here to Kaduna, where people are being abducted, people are being haunted, or to Zamfara, where every day, at least 50 people are kidnapped in Zamfara. 50 people and above are killed in Zamfara on the average. And you press men are culpable because you never report such incidences. This is. So INEC should have to sit up. We will never accept inconclusive election again. And they should know that we will now measure the depths of the river by the man in front. As at close of nominations or primaries, Zamfara State APC never held the primary to even nominate a House of Assembly member.
But they got their judgment. They got an order in court.
That what?
Is the High Court in Zamfara.
That said what?
INEC has no right to stop them from fielding candidates.
They will come round. They will get another compliant judge. Because the INEC is under pressure. We know that they are under pressure from government that they must allow Zamfara APC to field the candidates. That will be the beginning of the loss of their credibility. And this now will show to the world that INEC, this INEC under Mahmoud Yakubu, a very fine, intelligent young man who has performed creditably in academia, first class, in all the institutions he has gone through. He will lose his respect if he bows to pressure from these people. And he should know that on a free and fair election, this government can never come back.
How do you intend to battle this government and clinch power from there, where they have they have federal might, they have, that's the language the politicians use anyway.
They have police, they have army, they have security. Is that not what you are saying?
Yes, that's the question. Somebody said I should ask you if that is possible. What can you do? And APC is ready to use the federal might. This is coming from Olakule Cosmos on my Twitter handle at EJ Osamor. He said, what can you do if they have federal might to win the election like they did in Osun?
How many are the military men? How many are the police? What is their number?
Compared to Nigerians?
Yes. What's their number? Your weapon is we have a simple weapon, the PVC. We will get rid of them. If, you see, whenever I speak, I send a message. But the Buhari handlers think I am an enemy. Even from an enemy, you will learn. You will have something to learn. Even from an enemy, there is something to pick that would be useful to you. Look, if they know what I know on the ground for them, I'm sure General Buhari will not contest this election.
Oh, so you know what they don't know?
Yes, because the resentment and the cry against them is like you will use knife to cut. So how do they win the election? Through what? Is it the Fulani man or the thief man that will vote for them? I wish they know.
Another question is coming from Ngozi Ogagata. He said, please ask what he has done for APC. What have you done for APC, your party? The party you say you will not leave.
I don't think she knows exactly what has happened. I'm a foundation member of the APC. I'm a signatory to the formation of the APC. So why do I run and leave it for who? Usurpers?
Oh, you don't want to leave your party for anybody?
For usurpers.
But you
we have to reform it. They will all run away when they lose election. They will all run away, and then we will come back to reposition the party.
For another election?
For another election. And we bring creditable people who have knowledge of modern governance. So not these archaic people who are taking us to the Stone Age.
If you're doing that, then why are you supporting the PDP candidates? If you are still an APC member, we
have a memorandum of understanding that we have to bring a better government.
But you're sabotaging your party.
I'm not sabotaging my government.
Your party.
Let my party shape up and do what is right. I can't do what is not right. I can't do what is not just. I can't go into jungle justice as is obtained now in this government. Court issues order, release so. You say no, you are above the court. Who on earth is above the law of Nigeria, above the constitution? None.
All right, someone is asking you that I should ask you what you should do about the allegation of Bukola Saraki and Dino Melaye that they paid heavily to make the APC look like that.
I don't understand.
They said it's an allegation anyway. This is coming for Rikia Ishaku. He said, please ask Buba Galadima what can he say about the allegation that Bukola Saraki and Dino paid you to make the APC look the way you are sounding.
Well, I don't know. In the first place, I don't know that Dino is a rich man.
Really?
I don't know. I say I don't know.
He's a senator.
Oh, so every senator is a thief.
I didn't say that.
So he may be one of the exceptions. Two, that I have no price. And if she doesn't know, she should go and find out that I was director of 2 banks. I was director of an insurance company. I was director of Delta Steel Company. I was director of Ajakuta Steel Company. I was the director general of what is now called NIMASA, and that I was the national financial secretary of the NRC, and that I was the national secretary of the CPC, and I am a board of trustees member of the APC, and it is member of National Caucus. Yet, despite all this, I was Maiduguri town engineer. I was project engineer in the River State Ministry of Works and Transport, 75, 6, 7, 8. I was the secretary and project engineer schools building committee, River State. In those years, I handled a project of 300 million naira, an equivalent of about 600.
That means you've been part of the government all this
year. Of course, and I'm leading somewhere. Okay. And yet, the best house I have on earth is a 2-bedroom house in this Abuja. Which honest person do you have like that? Tell me one, and no exception.
Alaji, they say you can't go to Yobe. Is it true?
Well, if I can't go to Yobe, it means security.
You're staying away from your state because of security?
Well, no, I say if I can't go, it means it is security. Nothing can stop me from going to Yobe.
When last did you visit your state?
I hope you know that I had an accident about a month ago.
Yes, I heard it.
Where was I coming from?
Oh, you're coming from
the accident was at Unguru. Unguru is the heart of Yobe. I was coming from Gashua, where I live. If you chop public money, or if you commit some wahala, that is the prison where they take you. Gashua. So, in fact, I was chasing a friend of mine because my car was written off, and he promised to give me a car he has not given me. I've been chasing him up and down. That shows you that I'm not rich.
So you don't have a car now?
Well, I have a car. I came here with a car. an 8-year-old Kia that was given to me by Dr. Babangida Aliyu, the former governor of Niger State. And I was accused severally for taking that present. It wasn't for me. My son was getting married, and Babangida had been very close to me. He has not been able to go for the marriage, so he gave the car to the couple. But because I hadn't a car then, I took that car and gave them my rated tier 1, and I was using that car up to now, 8 years. And in fact, one of the people in the National Executive Committee of the CPC wrote and was accusing me of taking a car from PDP.
That's the pioneer chairman, the pioneer chairman of CPC.
No. Publicity secretary.
Publicity secretary.
Rotimi Fashakin accused me on social media, and I asked him, let him go and ask General Buhari how many cars did he take from Babangida Aliyu.
Now, somebody is asking, Jawo says I should ask you, how is corruption in this present government compared to the other government? If you think Buhari is not fighting corruption.
Government.
If you think Buhari is not fighting corruption.
I say it's worse than Jonathan's government.
How?
Because Jonathan's government, at least he can fight even members of his party, and he got some of them jailed. This one, they can only fight their enemies. Oh, you don't know.
I don't know. You're just telling me.
Adams Oshomole is the national chairman of the party.
Yes.
You know that he's been taken to court.
I read somewhere in online.
I hope that you know.
I read it online that
is he being investigated now? They can't even investigate him.
But
did you know about my friend Shitu? What is corruption? Define corruption for me. Do you know my friend Shitu, the Minister of Communication?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's so confident that Buhari can do nothing to anybody, he can't sack anybody. Even if you commit murder, once you are compliant to him, he even took NYSC to court when he's supposed to be in jail for 14 years. He's supposed to be in jail for 14 years for not attending NYSC, or he allowed his minister for finance who tendered forgery. If he's fighting corruption, he should have gotten her arrested for bringing forged certificates and sent to jail. It will send shivers.
But it was
now
the president that asked her to resign.
Because he cannot be sacked by Buhari.
The president asked her to resign when he came back.
Ah.
Yes.
Asked her to resign.
Yes.
So if you commit offense, if you are a Buhari person, you just resign and go. Is that what you are telling me? Is that how to fight corruption? Huh? So what is Shitu there? Why didn't he ask Shitu to resign? That Shitu had got the guts. He's a very close friend of mine. Ask him. He stays in my house.